The winner of this video may just be the fastest phone in the world, the HTC U11, the Sony Xperia XE Premium, and we're going to get right to it, guys. Now, both these phones obviously extremely fast, and they've done very well in the speed tests they've gone through so far. Now, there's only a few phones in the world with the Snapdragon 835, and these are two of them. Also on the Sony, you have the world's first 4K HDR screen display. Alright, so boot up should be very close on both. Wow. Maybe a half-second advantage there for the Sony, probably even less than that. Alright everyone, so let's go over the specs for both these phones. Now, both these phones 5.5-inch screens. On HTC, you have Quad HD. On the Sony, you have 4K screen HDR. Again, the world's first. Now, front-facing camera is excellent on both of these. So on HTC, you have a 16 megapixel. On the Sony, you have 13. Now, on HTC, you do the fingerprint scanner right here. And on the Sony, right here on the side. And then, let's take a look at the bottom. Alright, so USB-C on both. Now, the Sony does have a headphone jack. The HTC does not. And look at the back. Now guys, both these designs are absolutely gorgeous. So first up with the Sony, you have a mirror finish. Extremely unique design here, really beautiful. And on HTC, now this is gorgeous as well. So it is a glass back on here, although it is pretty different from other phones with glass backs. Because with this, the coloring is actually inside the glass itself rather than underneath it. So really beautiful design, and it changes color depending on the lighting source. Rear facing camera on the Sony 19 megapixels. On HTC, it's 12. Now, internal storage on HTC, either 64 128 gigabytes. On the Sony, 64. Both phones do have micro SD card support. Now, in terms of RAM, so on HTC, you're going to get 4 gigabytes of RAM with the 64 gigabyte model, and 6 gigabytes of RAM with the 128. So I do have the 128 6 gigabyte model, but the 6 gigabyte of RAM, 128 gigabytes internal storage version only available in some countries, so check if it's available in yours. Now in terms of battery, so you have 3,000 capacity on HTC and 3230 on Sony. Both phones Snapdragon 835. Again, either 4 or 6 gigabytes of RAM for the HTC, 4 for the Sony. Now both these phones are water resistant. Sony is a slightly higher certification, so IP68 for the Sony, IP67 for the HTC. Now on HTC, they do have this new HTC EdgeSense. They have been advertising this a lot. So basically on the sides of the phone, you have two pieces of aluminum, one right here, and the other on the other side. And basically you're going to squeeze your phone and something will happen. So for example, I've set the camera. So yeah guys, it's a cool feature, nothing mind-blowing, but still cool to have. Alright everyone, so everything closed out on both phones. Very high stakes for this one. BBC News first. Alright, so slight advantage here for the Sony. iFunny next. Again, slight advantage for the Sony. YouTube. Looked like a slight advantage there for the HTC. Really great matchup so far. Alright, calculator. And clock should be about the same. Oops, actually messed one up, but yeah, calculator and clock, this should be about the same. Alright, eBay next. Alright, so Sony here. Photos. About the same. Alright guys, so first of 3 games, got Asphalt 8 first. Really a great matchup so far. Alright, so we have the Sony here. Next up, we got settings. CBS Sports. Slight advantage again for the Sony. Tempranto. All right, so we got, excuse me guys, slight advantage here for the HTC. Modern Combat 5 next. All right, and Sony winning this one. So yeah, guys, Sony does win majority of the apps. Next up, we got web browsing. And actually, let me go back. Press right there. Just for multitasking later on. Actually, we got Intuitive and then Chrome. Now, guys, these are the two highest scores on Android, so really impressive, but a little bit higher for HTC. So 184,000 versus 178. All right, Chrome next. Going to a few sites, go to imdb.com first. Wow, look, that is crazy fast on the Sony. Let's do Nintendo next. Town.com. Same thing, guys. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I'm going to show you something in a minute here, but just for you guys having a hard time believing these results, let's do Zelda next. And then HTC. All right, so that one's slight advantage for HTC. And last, Sony. All right, so Sony there. So yeah, Sony obviously does win the web browsing. Now, guys, I want to go ahead and show you something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to some of the sites we just visited. So let's do Nintendo first. Nintendo. So you see, guys, I mean, just look how ridiculous this is on the Sony. Let's do Zelda. Again, we're just going back to those same exact sites. But look at how it saves on the Sony. IGN. And we'll just go last imdb.com once again. Wow. I mean, absolutely insane, guys. I don't know how to do it. All right, next up, let's do the camera test. And we'll do Bulbasaur for this one. All right, so rear-facing cameras on both these are excellent. Higher megapixels on the Sony, 19 versus 12. All right, so HTC a little bit faster there, loading up. All right, so looks like bit of a mixed result here. Let's do fingerprint scanner speed next. Now X1 on both, so on HTC located right here, on Sony on the side. Alright, so pretty close on both, I think. Yeah, really not much of a difference here. But if you guys think one is faster, let me know in the comments. And both extremely accurate. Alright everyone, so we got multitasking last. And let's start off with Temperanto. Alright, so X1 sign your phone mode in the app. Let's do Modern Combat 5 next. Alright, so both connecting here. And slight advantage here for the Sony. Let's do Chrome next. Yeah guys, pretty neck and neck for both. And to do. Again, very similar. Asphalt 8. Alright, so again, X1 on both. And let's go all the way back towards the beginning. Let's do iFunny. Alright, so a little bit better there on the HTC. Let's try YouTube. Alright, so refreshed on both, but pretty close. BBC News. Alright, so better here on HTC. And final one, guys, was through eBay. Alright, so slight advantage for HTC. Alright guys, so we're going to get to the final results in a second. But first up, personally speaking, I do have both of these phones. And that's really for a lot of reasons. So first up, you got great cameras both on the front and the rear. Great internal storage, micro SD card support, Snapdragon 835. Obviously, incredibly fast phones. Both phones are water resistant. You got the fingerprint scanner. Now, really, the only thing I don't like about the HTC is that it's missing a headphone jack. But aside from that, excellent phone. Now, guys, all that said, I thought this was a pretty close matchup. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is a 6GB model of the HTC. Again, 6GB of RAM. So will be better than what a lot of you guys will have in your country, which is 64GB internal storage, 4GB of RAM. Alright everyone, so let me know in the comments which phone you think won. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty contested matchup. Again, the boot up time was pretty close, slight advantage there for the Sony. Games, apps, slight advantage there for the Sony. In terms of Antutu, slight advantage there for HTC. Camera speed, I think pretty mixed. Same with fingerprint scanner, really not much difference there. Now, web browsing, clearly going with the Sony there. And multitasking, again, kind of split. Maybe a narrow margin for HTC, but again, very close. So yeah, guys, I think maybe a tiny advantage here for the Sony, but again, extremely close matchup. And finally, guys, remember, these two phones are possibly the #1 and 2 fastest phones in the world. Still more testing to do, but again, I think that is a strong possibility. Now, if you guys want to see more videos in the future, including more speed tests, as well as more video comparisons between these two, stuff like camera comparisons, battery life, and more, press that subscribe button in the top left corner. Or if you want, you can watch another video right now, and you can do it by clicking in the bottom right. Alright everyone, thanks again for watching.